When you've made over 500 YouTube videos in the last 10 years, it's really easy to have a few of them that don't age all that well, and oh boy, I have committed some cringe. I came across this old YouTube video of mine from January of 2016. Now keep in mind, Der Eisendrache had not even released yet, but this video is titled, "Is Black Ops 3 Zombies Dead?" Oh boy, a title has never ever aged that poorly. So what was Luke's concerns in 2016 that Black Ops 3 might be dead because of? And actually, I did watch the video. I had some valid points, to be quite honest with you, because Black Ops 3 now is quite good, and there's a lot of things that have been fixed, but 2 months away from launch at that point in time, not everything was all rosy. Because just like we talked about yesterday, it's really easy to forget a lot of this stuff and just feel like Zombies is either really good or really bad in your memory. But when Black Ops 3 first came out, especially Shadows of Evil had a lot of issues. It was extremely glitchy, and there was a lot of things that Treyarch did that just kind of pissed off the community. For example, the wonder weapons on both of the launch maps were broken. I mean, think about it this way. Remember the upgraded Apothicon Servant that you had to glitch to be able to get for the first couple of weeks of the game was out? And then Treyarch just straight up removed it because you weren't actually even supposed to get it in the first place. People were extremely pissed off about the fact that Treyarch didn't just relent and keep it in the game. It did really break things, to be quite honest. That was super broken on Shadows of Evil. People were getting around 220, 230, and then that didn't happen again for another couple of years. On the Giant as well, the Wonderwaff was broken. On launch, it would create crawlers, and it wouldn't even kill 10 zombies like it's supposed to. A lot of the time you'd shoot it, it would kill maybe 1 zombie, and then the other 9 would turn into crawlers. It was basically useless, so most people were using Blast Furnace. Another big one was that the new sliding mechanic that you can use wasn't really as good as it should have been, because if you were hit by a zombie while you were in the crouch position, you couldn't sprint out of it in order to escape. You had to manually uncrouch and then run to get away. This is why I always say when I play last gen Shadows of Evil that this is what the game was like in January of 2016, because it actually was. That version of the game is basically what launch Black Ops 3 was like. It had a lot more issues than just this, but all of that combined just kind of made the community not really all that happy. This was also a time where we were just really starting to get the Ether storyline going, because Shadows of Evil did not have the Primus crew, and well, Origins did, sure. The base map that everyone was playing for the most part, and everyone had access to when they bought the game without paying additional money, was Shadows of Evil, and it did not have that crew. Oh, and I just remembered this as well. This was around the point where Treyarch had actually nerfed Blast Furnace. So when the game first came out, Blast Furnace as your alternate ammo type or your Pack-a-Punch ability, whatever you feel like calling it, was the best one in the game. It could kill an entire horde of 24 zombies and only had a cooldown of like 3 seconds. Everything else was kind of bad to just a little bit mid. Deadwire was probably the worst one out of all of them and could only kill like, I would say 2 zombies, maybe 3, and had a really long cooldown of probably about 8 seconds. Over time, all of these things either got fixed or the community just kind of moved on with their lives, but at that point when I was making my video, it was kind of a genuine concern that unless the DLC season was really fucking good, a lot of people were wondering, well, where do we go from here? Do we just go back to Black Ops 2? Do we go back to World of War custom maps, since customs didn't even come out for another couple of years for Black Ops 3? And it's so funny too, because we knew what Der Eisendrache was at that point, but it just hadn't released. And I was wondering if Der Eisendrache was going to be like Mob of the Dead, and Shadows of Evil was going to be the origins of Black Ops 3. I was so wrong that it's painful, but it's really fun to look back on. And hey, if you're still watching, help me feed the algorithm. Go into the comments and tell me your favorite Black Ops 3 Zombies map, plus your highest round on it ever, just somewhere in your comment. You can talk about whatever you feel like, but just include it somewhere, and then I'll know you made it this far into the video. And subscribe. I don't really do this until the video ends usually, but you know what, hey, I'm gonna do it earlier today, so just hit the fucking buttons. Surprisingly enough though, this wasn't the only time that I was legitimately concerned for Black Ops 3's future, so obviously after all of that kind of calmed down and I said, oh, Black Ops 3 is dead, we did get Der Eisendrache, and that was a huge hype for the community, as obviously all of you guys know at this point. What the fuck was that? After Der Eisendrache though, I legitimately started to get concerned about Black Ops 3 again when Zetsumo no Shima came out, and honestly it flopped. Regardless of how I actually think of the map and whether I believe it's good or not, after Zetsubo came out, there was a really big down period, especially on YouTube, for pretty much everybody, not just small guys, not just big guys, but kind of for everyone. So once again, that thought started to creep back into my mind of maybe Black Ops 3 isn't going to be something that will carry the zombies community for years to come, and maybe Black Ops 2 is going to have to do it, or hopefully they come out with custom maps. And obviously, I'm playing a custom map on Black Ops 3 in 2024. I kind of feel like we know how all that turned out, which is really crazy to think about, because honestly, if Black Ops 3 had never either gotten Chronicles or it had never gotten custom maps, or even just one of them hadn't released, then honestly, Black Ops 3's story could have been so much different than it is now. Both of those were added in after the DLC season had ended, which is kind of crazy. So Black Ops 3, you really got kind of lucky, my boy. I also have no idea what's going on in the zombies map, but shout out to this map for having the Desert Eagle. More maps really need to add it, because the Deagle is just absolutely the best fucking thing in existence. It's always been my favorite gun in like any game. But that's enough of a boomer telling all of his old stories. So if you guys did enjoy the video, likes appreciated. As I said earlier, subscribe, hit it. Hit the fucking button. We're trying to get to 2,500 subs as quickly as possible. Claim your wee badge. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye.